So what I could do, I could go grind a little bit, just to get my level and my job level up a little bit, and that would help me stay alive once I become a swordsman. I think once you become a different class, it becomes a lot easier. No matter which class you pick, just get a lot stronger right away. That may be to balance out the fact that you start with like no skills once you switch classes. And I guess I should... Oh no, we don't want to do that. I can explain how the class system works. So basically start off as what I am right now, which is an adventurer. There, it says it right there. If you right click on your portrait in the top left, it'll tell you what class you are. In this case, adventurer. And basically it's like any other MMO pretty much. You get the choice, well, not any other one, but you get the choice of swordsman, archer, or mage, as I think I've mentioned all three of them before. And as you can guess, the mage is has healer specialist cards, and it can do healing, but it's not only healing. You can definitely do a lot of damage as a mage. Just depends on which specialist card you focus on and which one you play the most. Although most of the time, if you're in a group with other people, they usually expect you to be a healer class just to help out the group. Now, that's really what I don't like about mage. I kind of like being a mage. I like healing, but it's just not as fun to play solo because some of the specialist cards do focus on healing, like the Holy, which is the second specialist card. And it's really powerful even to play alone, but it's not quite as fun because you don't really have any skills that do damage. You have maybe a couple skills that do damage, but most of them are focused on just helping your teammates and stuff like that. Alright, so yeah, your adventurer until level 15, until you hit job level, at least job level 20 and combat level 15. And usually your combat level goes up faster than your job level. Actually, that's not really true, but usually you end up waiting on your job level. So in this case, I'm gonna hit 15 really soon, and I still have 4 or 5 job levels to go, almost down to 4. But once I hit job 20, I can change classes into, like I said, swordsman, archer, or mage. Archer is usually, as you may guess, the high damage class. And yeah, it just focuses on doing tons of damage. And I love most of the specialists from Archer, except for the second one, which is Assassin. Actually, I don't like any of the second specialist cards for any of the classes, now that I think about it. Yeah, so Assassin, which I actually used to love Assassin, but they changed it and now it's not as powerful. So, well, arguably maybe as powerful, but not as fun or as easy to use in my opinion. I think it's just I think they made it more difficult just for the sake of making it more difficult, because it's mostly, I think, used or supposed to be used for a PvP specialist. but I used to use it on PvE a lot, and then I kind of gave up on it after they reworked it because I didn't like the new skills. Yeah, that's probably my favorite looking specialist. I love the way it looks, but don't love the way it works at the moment. Maybe someday they'll rework it again. I think a lot of people were unhappy with how it works. And they reworked some of the other classes or specialists too, but I believe they were better than the assassin. So yeah, then you have the swordsman, which is, as you may have guessed, basically a tank. Although, again, these are just general observations, but you do have, like, swordsman has class or specialists that will not only tank, but also some that will help your friends around you, kind of, and some that will do massive amounts of damage. And you can, when you enhance these weapons or these specialists, you can actually choose how you want to do it. You could be a tank, or you could do tons of damage. It really depends on how you upgrade it and how you put the points into the card. Alright, so looks like we're gonna do another TS here. Usually the equipment and stuff that we get from these I don't care too much about. Mostly you just want to equip the highest level stuff that you can. And I guess I could talk about it. I didn't have a good example in this one because this sword doesn't have a rarity level. And as you can see, some of my equipment says good or useful. There's also more higher ones. But basically what that means is it's a little bit better than the things that might just say clothing or wooden stick. As you can see here, useful wooden stick, so that one's a little bit better. I'm not exactly sure where to go on this map. I could probably do this. Maybe not. No. Let me go into this locked room here. Yeah, there's rare level, and then there is equipment. I don't know really how to describe it, but basically you can change the rarity level and you can change the plus amount at the end. I don't exactly remember what it's called, but if you there are two different ways you can enhance the weapon. You can add to the plus modifier at the end, or you can gamble it to increase the rare level. I need to make sure I don't die here again. As you can see, this sword is +1, and if we look at this other sword that doesn't have any enhancements, it's exactly the same, except for damage is +10% on the one with the +1. It looks like I actually need to collect stuff in this time space. And there's strong monsters all over the place in this TS, and I actually ran out of food. But yeah, if you enhance the plus modifier at the end, it will add to the damage, looks like. And if you add to the rare level, it will actually, the numbers here will actually change. So trying to make sure I don't die here again. So yeah, as you can see, the one is actually, that's a bad example. Let me see, here we go. So these, I believe, are the same. And Yeah, they're both level 3. One's rarity level 1, one's rarity level 2. Let me actually equip some food here. Fried chickens are actually really good, usually. I'm gonna change this to put 2 for my my food and 4 for my panic button. I feel like I'm hitting the 2 button a lot, even when I'm not really panicking. Alright, so as you can see, the training uniform the better rarity level has a stronger, or has stronger numbers on it. 18 compared to 16. Actually, this one has higher ranged defense, which is a little strange. But the other number matches magic defense matches, and dodge is increased a little bit on the better one. Yeah, that's strange that range defense is actually lowered. But generally, rarity level increases a lot of things, and I think adding the plus just increases the damage. Looks like I actually may need to go up here. Actually, no, I need to go down. Yeah, hopefully at some point I'll get into how we can enhance and gamble our items. And I say gamble because it really is just a gamble. You put your item in, and there's a high chance that it will be destroyed. And there's also a somewhat low chance of it being a low rarity level, like 1 or 2. And there's an extremely low chance of it being a higher rarity level, like 6 or 7. But of course you can get scrolls from the Nostale, or you can actually buy them from other players that will protect your equipment for you, so you don't really lose them. Yeah, it won't lose them if you're using the protection scroll. And you really just gamble with mostly with the, if you're changing the rare level. If you're adding the plus modifier at the end, there's a risk of it being destroyed, but that risk slowly increases over time. So if it's +0 and you're going to +1, I believe that's actually a 100% chance of it succeeding. So actually I have to go back to Teoman. So at this point I'm going to use a Wing of Return, and it's going to ask me if I want to save my position. I'm going to click yes, because I know that for the future quests I'm going to be coming back to this exact area a lot. And Teoman's going to be up here in the corner. And what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying, but yeah, increase. So adding the plus modifier, I believe. Once you get to higher plus modifiers like 6 or 7, or even before that, like 4 or 5 or 6, they start to increase the chances of the item being destroyed. And that's when you should start using the scroll to protect against that. And it's the same with enhancing specialist cards. At first, you can do the first few plus modifiers for basically do it without a risk. There may be on +3, there might be like a 5% chance of it being destroyed or something, but it's really low, and most people, unless it's a really valuable specialist card, they would just take that risk and run the risk of having to do the quest again to get the specialist. Although a specialist, if it gets destroyed, it doesn't actually get destroyed. You can use an item from the Nostale to bring it back to life. It gets destroyed, but you still have the item. You just can't equip the specialist and use it. Anyway, enough about enhancing stuff. I could go on about that all day.